Hello everyone, welcome back. This is TechMedic. Thank you for joining me today. So if you're like me and you are wondering where the heck are all these elements, well, I'm going to help you out today. So in this video, I'm over here at the Spire of Stars because like many of you, I got kicked out of this place by Caliburn. Remember, if you are on the Price of Knowledge and Forbidden Knowledge, you will get sent here after the events of Octavius getting sucked into the Abyss, in which you immediately enter the Spire of Stars, complete the puzzles there. You get up to the Abyss, and then Caliburn immediately ejects you. And then you're off, as you can see here, the Obsession with Madness, and you go down and talk to Grundir, and then you're off to the next chapter. And then you're like, alright, well, whatever, but, I'll check that out sometime else. Well, it doesn't emphasize that you actually learn an imbuement skill, like fire over here. That was ice, but there's the fire one. And of course, we're going to lose our balance, but stay tuned and we'll get through this together. Okay, so now we can do this puzzle. This is basically what you have to do. You have to learn focus shot. So, as you see here, we can go into our shot. Now we can mark our targets. Uno, dos, tres, and cuatro. Now we can shoot all those, and that gets the job done. What do we have to do to get that? Well, we have to go into our skill tree, and we have to get level 2 focus, and we have to get level 3 focus, force palm, in order to allow us to get focus shot. So that'll help us go ahead and unlock this puzzle. We can then go into the center and of course take the golden sword. Now we got a fancy new weapon. Okay, after we learned that skill and got all these annoying little tiles marked, now we have acquired the skill lightning. So effectively, we have completed the Spire of the Stars, and now we get to go on to the next one. It's also important to note that when you go ahead and complete this challenge, it is located here in your journal under Restoration the Abyss. We got done with the Courtyard of Precision here, and as you can see, the reward was not Imbue lightning, even though we had noticed on the corner right here that we got the skill. And to prove that, there it is. As you can see, we have our lightning skill. This will allow us to go ahead and utilize abyss gears in our weapons to go ahead and utilize those specific traits. As you can see here, we've gotten our lightning skill, we've gotten our ice skill, we definitely got our fire skill. Now we're all set and ready to go. So the next skill that we're going to be opening up now is going to be the Frost. Okay everybody, we're up here at the Spire of Rising Truth, and the Spire of Rising Truth is located in northwestern Paloon. Just follow the river, you should be able to see it from the ground level. You can go ahead and climb internally from the outside in, and of course all the way at the top here there's a bell that you're going to have to shoot down. So once you shoot down this bell, it's going to crash through all of this stuff. Now what you're going to need to do is go all the way to the bottom. Once you get down here, you're going to find Lycrus. Lycrus is a mage, and he flies around. Now I suggest that you get something like this. Go ahead and research where to get this weapon. It's learned from a book, and you craft it, okay? This weapon is very good because it doubles as a spear, and it also doubles as a shotgun or a cannon. So when he's flying around, you can just hold your aim, it'll auto target onto him, you can bring him down, and he's going to do an attack called Ancient Retribution. Now I have it socketed on this sword. Basically it's going to start shooting down dozens and dozens of those little lasers, in which you're going to have to dodge all over the place. Make sure that you're clear of him, and once you get that, he's going to drop an ancient necklace and the retribution But effectively, what you want to do here is you want to go through the gate. Okay, so now that we started here, it's going to shoot us off over here. There's basically a puzzle that you have to go ahead and complete. And of course, it's going to shoot you off all the way over here. And this is the important one, okay guys? This is the one that, the Path of Trials, where you get the frost from. Now in this location, there's going to be a frozen like computer chip that you're going to have to socket. So what we need to do is we actually need to, you know, stay warm by these spires because the cold is going to be ever present. But effectively what we need to do is we need to get up there. And you can't really do a whole lot of climbing on this because the ice will go ahead and shoot you down, but you can use your grapple at certain points. And you can get in here. So basically, there's this little hole right here. And there's like a computer chip that's way up top. You can drag it down, okay? It's going to be frozen. And this frozen chip needs to be dipped into this lava over here. Okay, so you can thaw it out. Once that chip is thawed out, you can go ahead and push the chip all the way up so that you could socket it over here. And once that's socketed, you can do the dial puzzle and you're off to the races, okay? And once you pretty much complete that, if I can get this here, you'll be awarded with the frost, okay? But essentially, what you can do, if you don't want to do all that nonsense, is what I did. I stood here, weapon out, and I just shined until this whole thing powered up enough to give that energy. Then I ran over, force palmed the heck out of it, and was able to activate everything without everything fully being in place. You see what I'm saying? And that gave us access to the next area, which unlocked here, unlocked the sky bridge. Now we got to go talk about the loops. So you're going to get the chip for this first ring, and then you're going to have an alternate ring that's just kind of hanging out above this platform here on my right hand side. You're going to take that chip and you're going to put it somewhere around this neighborhood. Then basically what I do is climb to the top of there, fly over here, get that, climb up, grab the chip, socket it, get the chip inside of here, socket that into there. We need to pull this chip out and socket it over here in the third one, okay? In case you're flying around looking for another chip, pull the one that you put in the pedestal over here. But for the secret puzzle here, you're gonna get a visione. And then of course you can watch that. And it's gonna reveal all these secret platforms. So you can go up there and get a really lame reward. Just letting you know. But effectively, I think the game meant for you to climb those to get up there to drift all the way over here. But you don't really need to do that because, you know, if your gliding abilities are just as good as mine, then you're going to be able to complete this puzzle. That's pretty simple. So let's go down here and talk about this. Alright, once you complete all that stuff, you'll end up over here, which is the tree of, what is it called? Slumber. The tree of slumber, what you need to do for this puzzle is you need to bring out your sword. If you're on PC, you hold shift and your heavy attack, and that'll allow you to go ahead and align this in there. Basically what you're trying to do here is you're trying to move this in a circular motion because this one will stay stationary. These 5, you're gonna have to articulate with each slot controls a different formation of these pillars, and you're all trying to get them down to this area. Even if the lava subsides, you still will get burned, so you need to actually utilize your grapple and utilize your force palm, okay, so that you can transfer that kinetic energy into the dial. And of course, your return on investment will be the puzzle being solved and the ability to go ahead and imbue fire. So here we are. We've got all three of the elemental skills. Now the last one, wind. Alright guys, in order to get the wind imbuement, what you need to do is you need to complete chapter 8, which is going to be the blood coronation. Once you fight the homeboy here with Damian, you're going to get access to the key and the tower. So once you do that, you can finally go ahead and unlock this. Okay, once we're inside the Spire, you need to go ahead and jump and hang on to this lever. And then the second lever will be right here. Okay, once you go ahead and activate those two handles, you can just come outside, make your way all the way to the top, and of course, we're going to be accessing the gate over here. Okay, let's start this. We need to turn that on. You got to be quick because you got to beat this stupid puzzle. Because time limits, right? Come on, Grandpa Legs. Yay, we did it. Okay, once we got all that junk in, we got the skill wind. So at this point, let's see if we can move. No, we can't move. Now we can. We got our artifact and we got all of these skills unlocked. So there we go. Wind, flame, spirit, frost, and lightning. Now you guys have access to everything. Go out there and imbue all of your stuff. Now let's talk about how to utilize some of these skills within gear. Okay, that leads us back over here to Homegirl. So what we need to do is we need to actually go and extract previous gear that we collected. Now, as you can see here, we have the Hunger Fang leather boots. You get this from the Ludwig fight. And of course, we also have the Scorch Flame gloves, which we already pulled out one of the other imbuements. And as you can see here, this is specific for armor. And it allows you to use this specific skill. This is basically like giving you a magic cast, which will use your spirit up in order to go ahead and do the specific effect. You can stack multiple effects here, so this is important to note. So once we rip that out, confirm that, we can actually go back to our regular inventory, and let's go ahead and replace, let's just say we want to take both these out for now, and we want to embed onto our boots the volcanic eruption and the orb of lightning. Once we do that, we now have access to both these spells. On top of the Flames of Judgment, which is like a damage over time. You will get this especially from the quest, so don't worry about it. But once we got these imbuements installed in our gear, we don't actually have to use anything else other than the numbers 1 through 4 on your keyboard. As you can see here, it uses up a ton of spirit, but that's why you have to invest into it. It's a magic caster base. So obviously we don't have anything imbued in ice, but we do have something imbued with lightning, which allows us to spam that until we run out of spirit, at which time we're going to have to go ahead and heal some of that. Now these are just pretty much good for AoE, and obviously you will use some of these for combat as well as puzzles. So with that, guys, now you have all the elements. You can go out there and wreak havoc with all these things and get smacked by a tree. So as I burn to death here, you guys can have fun with this stuff, and yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you all in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.